And another thing, let me be clear. Let's be clear. Everybody wants school open. However, Democrats want schools to open and operate safely, while my Republican colleagues wanted to prematurely open schools, regardless of if it was safe or not. This is particularly alarming as COVID 19 poses a significant risk to students, teachers, and families. And I should know I have two teachers in my household. COVID 19 was one of the leading causes of pediatric death in 2020. As of July 14, 2022, at least 1,300 active and retired K 12 educators and personals have died of COVID 19. Of those, 449 were active teachers. All of those teachers could have been mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, teachers. I mean, just they had lives and families. So we should be careful to ensure states and school districts could reopen to the public health crisis and reopen and stay open safely. Democrats passed the American Rescue Plan, which delivered the largest one-time investment in K-12 schools. And thanks to these investments, nearly all schools are open for in-person learning. So let me ask my question. Dr. Blomstead, sir. States must reserve 5% of ARP ESSER funds to address learning loss by implementing evidence-based interventions that respond to social, emotional, and academic needs. I think the timer should be on for, okay, it is. States are also required to reserve 1% of ARP ESSER funds for summer enrichment and 1% of funds for out-of-school time programming. So, Doctor, let me ask, how is Nebraska using these reservations to address learning loss?
Yeah, and thank you, Chairman Sablon. The reality for Nebraska is we really, as we worked with our schools to build plans, we did two different things. On our state set-aside piece, we really looked to the set of partners that could help us with student engagement, student and family engagement. We worked with a partner called the Nebraska Children and Families Foundation that actually helped us build capacity. It was hard to find the immediate capacity to do that particular work, and we actually established both academic supports in that setting as well as our mental health supports as well, and really building that out statewide to give schools capacity and resources that they could connect with and tie that into their plans and their particular work. We've seen schools take that up, including trying to secure licensed mental health practitioners to be part of the school setting to ensure that teachers are prepared and trained to be supported as well as support their students. Okay. So we've done both.
All right. And how are you ensuring that interventions are targeted to student groups most impacted by the pandemic, such as students of color, students from low-income families, students with disabilities, and in English learners, all four of which I qualify?
Yeah, we actually did a unique thing where we mapped across the state, looked at various social impacts that were already existing within our population, and then actually highlighted our schools that were identified underneath the federal accountability for targeted support and improvement and comprehensive support and improvement, and began to target resources from a state level as well as further assist those schools in their planning so we could target to the right students.
All right, thank you. And Dr. Blomstead, the teacher shortage is disproportionately impacting students with disabilities. For example, in Omaha, here in Nebraska, the largest school district in Nebraska, the majority of unfilled teaching positions are in special ed. I have a son who is in special ed too. News reports indicate that as of the end of August, at the elementary school level, 77 teaching positions remained open, and 63 of these were special education or support jobs. At the secondary level, there were 75 unfilled teaching positions, including 66 special education jobs. So can you discuss how school districts in Nebraska are using ARP or other federal funds to address this issue? And what more needs to be done to ensure students with disabilities have the qualified teachers and staff they need to ensure they receive a free and appropriate public education, appropriate for America, sir?
Yeah, and I would say in Nebraska, and probably true across the country, that even pre-pandemic, there were shortages of special ed teachers for those environments. What we've really focused in on is how can we help teachers come from a lot of different pathways, and we've had legislation passed in Nebraska that allows us to be able to change that. We are using ARP funds to actually recruit and retain teachers in a variety of ways. Our schools are thinking about different strategies that do that, and I'm really excited to be able to try to recruit teachers with our 16 teacher preparation institutes institutions, and we're really looking for first-generation students. We're looking for the opportunity to move students into those special needs arenas as well.
Yeah, thank you. And one of my first impressions of the United States of America happens to be Nebraska. So many of our young ladies who go to school for nuns, they go to Nebraska, and they come back and, hey, you've been back in education. And many of them are still with us today, very good people. So thank you, Dr. Bloomstead. I will add just, Dr. Swin, maybe to a little degree, a less degree, we have something in my district that support where teachers are actually, our individuals are actually paid to go to school and teach at the same time. So, and that's a program that works for us. We're teacher shortage. So my 5 minutes is overdue. I now recognize Mr. Owens, the ranking member for purpose.